We are going to cover how to actually recruit people using the in-game find a friend or find a new member. This is my Instagram. This is my return saying that I'm no longer associated with the unsaid game. We all know this unsaid game. The one that vacuums your wallet, has no heart, and doesn't like whales like me. So I've moved on. This is what I've moved on to. Are you looking for a clan? Because my clan doesn't care. Because all we care about is winning. Anything for the W. Clash Recruit. We're here to learn about how to effectively use in-game recruiting for new members. And it's now 2022. So this is the most recent knowledge, the recent technology you can learn. And this is me, the original OGKilogramspam. And I'm going to teach you the methods on how to actually use something so basic, but using different aspects of it in ways that you've probably never thought of. This is an owl. Some of you are aware. It is a really good owl. It does electricity. It goes best with the warden. You might not agree, but it goes best with the warden. And we're going to learn it and break it down. So the first part of it will be the theories and the concepts, the ideas and the methods. This is what should be rolling through your head once you begin looking for prospects. So this is my prospective account. Let's criticize this account. For one, 5,044 Legend League currently. That just means this particular player is just hovering around the base, a little bit above, but around the base of Legendary League. That's pretty good. But however, this is an arbitrary rank. It changes. Sometimes there's hidden rank. Hidden rank is when you compare their all-time best with their current. You have to consider that their all-time best is more important, because the current just indicates how much time they've put in so far, and it doesn't distinguish if they're either farming or they're just dropping so that they can mostly farm. And in my opinion, your all-time best, it should be anything above 5,200. Anything above 5,200 shows that you're getting quality character players for endgame only. If you're a lower team and you're re-evaluating, consider your level as the benchmark, because you need to create a team that is mostly around your level, and you need to build time and dynamics with the team, because if you don't have the time and you don't have the dynamics with the team, you will not really create synergy. Synergy is important for a team. It really dictates how far you want to get the W being the win. This is all about winning. This game in this world is not about losing. It's called Clash of Clans. Winning is about everything. It means you bragging on Twitter. It means you bragging on Reddit and getting all the likes and all the upvotes. That's really why we play Clash of Clans. Some of us do like that. And your war stars, this is a great indicator as to how active this particular prospect is during experience with Clan Wars and Clan War League. The more stars, the better. However, if you're seasoned, anything over 300 is a good benchmark to say that they have at least some experience with the way Clan Wars are conducted. The attacks one, the higher the better, but you also have to consider that the average per attack per day is 8 if they are in a Legendary League or not. If they're not, you want this particularly highest near the end of the season. So one season is 1 month. 1 month is 30 days. The first day, 8 days, 8 attacks. 8 attacks in 1 day is a legendary feat, and that's what you want. You want these quality legendary feats. However, that might not be the case. If that doesn't happen, they may be busy with life and they have balance. You have to consider life and game balance. And the donation ratios of 1-to-1 are great. Ratios of 2-to-1 are really great. Ratios of 3-to-1, which I don't see often, is absolutely fantastic. The more they donate, the more generous they are, the more likelihood they're a team player. And as far as legendary trophies are concerned, it's just bragging rights. This is something that nobody really uses as a benchmark. It doesn't impress me, I don't think. It just means that you've you've done really good during the end of the month and you place wherever you did, and the XX legendary trophies come to you, you can't cash out and get an award for it, unfortunately. The next portion of it is another benchmark that I like to use. It's the eye. The eye on the tower, on the top right-hand corner of your town hall. You click on the eye and it shows you a map. And this map shows you their base. You're not looking for their layout. You can if you want, but what I look for to immediately determine if they're worthy of being a prospect is their walls. How far along has their wall developed? The more developed, the better, because it indicates that they're willing to farm. It indicates that they're willing to be active to get the walls that they have attained. The next part of the phase is your heroes. The higher the heroes, the better. When you have a high hero level, your whole team will be impacted in terms of performance. The higher the level your heroes, the better performance and the better likelihood that your team will 3-star the base, because that's what this game's all about. 3-starring your opponent. It's not about the 2 stars, because the 2 stars will lose you the wars. It'll just equal out, kind of cancel out the attacks. But if you 3-star and you out 3-star your opponent, your team wins. That's what the strategy is. Also the troop count and the troop level. Every army is different, every player is different, so whatever the individual emphasizes for their army, it's entirely up to them, as long as they 3-star. That's what it comes down to, as always. And their spell level, what spells do they prioritize and whatnot. The higher the better, but sometimes that is not necessarily the case. You might run into the random few that can 3-star with very little, because they're just that good. Those guys are awesome to keep. Those guys are usually heroic. Recommend to keep them for life. These guys, to actually like go and find people, you have to hit find new member. I didn't even know it when I played. I'm just kidding, I'm teasing. So you hit the find new member button, and then boom, this pops up. Okay, I'm gonna tell you off the bat, I like to go and find a friend, find a new member kind of thing, and then new guys come up. Anybody that's homeless, these guys are homeless, they're potentials. Let's assume that this guy was a homeless guy. Once you find a homeless person that doesn't have a home, you want to be able to meet and you like them, you make sure you add them to a friend. I'll tell you why, I'll explain further. So let's continue with the explanation. When you have them and you got them on a friend request, you've put them in queue. You've officially selected them to put them in your inbox, kind of, and allow them to be potential suitors for your team. So what I've done is I've identified these particular members that could fit my next flow. I do this so that when I have a member that goes out, I have a suitor of potential people that I can go back and ask again at a later date. You have a queue for potential fillers, so that it makes your life easier, and so that when you search again, you don't lose the search. Once you miss the search, that you can't relocate them again. But if you request to keep them on this social list, you'll be able to keep them further developing into keeping them or not. And make sure you identify which ones you like, which ones appeal to you. It's all subjective. Don't always go for rank. Sometimes rank isn't the answer. You have to compare those magical numbers that we covered earlier. And once you have them on your friends list, this is where you can be extra selective. It doesn't necessarily mean they're fully in your inbox team, whatnot. It just means that you can now investigate further. Once you have them on their friends list, you can decide to remove or keep. But once they're there, now is the important time for you to learn more about them. So for instance, this guy right here, I'm interested because, well, he's at 5400. 5400 is really good caliber in terms of trophy ladder level climbing. If you can do that, that means you do good. So you do good, you follow under the good category in my book. And I want to know further about you. So let's investigate. What do we see? We see the dude speaks English. That is huge. You know, being able to communicate and having 2 languages together can really synergize a team at 1000% rate. That's great. And their location. You sometimes some people are not okay with swearing, and it's very offensive for their country. It's happened to us, and we had to kick them because, we allow swearing. Swearing is like everyday language, but when you become big, like celebrity and stuff, they don't want bad reputation because they're like, oh, swearing bad for kids. But no, man, real life, everybody swears, but nobody admit it. It's weird, but that's how it works. So make sure you allow people to swear. You guys need to learn that this is the normal words that we speak. Those swear words are very offensive to some people, but in my team, we allow it. It's pretty cool. Good luck with the next phase. Welcome, friends. Thanks for stopping by. Here's a quick little spiel on the update on the team that I've been working on for the past 24 months. We took about 24 months to build this roster. People have bounced back and forth, and you can't really blame them for quitting once in a while, because life gets busy. Sometimes they're not a fit. Don't take it personal. But this team is intact, and we're Master League 3 currently. But you're here not about how to manage, you're here to learn about how to recruit. So when you're recruiting, you need to be able to think of it as if it's a business deal, a transaction. You're cold calling. You're essentially looking for players that could match your team. So when you're evaluating your team, you must use all the criteria that we looked at earlier in the beginning of the segment. But a great indicator for me is to always look at their wall progression on a potential new member. When you look at their wall progression, you can see if they're a potential fit or not. And then the main key criteria that I like to evaluate right away is their war stars, how many have they won, and their all-time bests. And all the other criteria covered earlier in the segment, but those particular ones really stand out because it determines what type of player you're gonna get to your team. And it's a very competitive clan war battle. It's usually back-to-back clan war, but clan war league is even more competitive because the medals are really great for fast town hall development, and you don't really want to lose that. But when you request these friends on your team, you need to be able to further evaluate which one is a good fit and which one really isn't. And if they've already found a new team, just remove them off the team list that you've already potentially laid out. And when you have them on your friends list, this is a great time to evaluate them even further to determine if they're going to fit your clan mold philosophy or not. Strategy wise, there's many ways to approach it, but always look around, and it's kind of like a numbers game. You need to find out which member will fit and kind of see how they jive over the span of the little duration to make sure that they're not trolls, essentially. So you need to go in and out and just go and look at the find new members. The server has a way of not updating it automatically per se, but if you keep going back and forth and looking at the fit that the game thinks would be good for your roster, kind of isolate them, and you need to find a certain type of player that will appeal to your team. And I, for one, prefer really good active members. Active members to your team contribute so much in terms of contribution room. They'll not only donate, but they'll also commit to committing their 2 attacks in Clan Wars, and also during the Clan War event, they'll do their full 7-day full war, and they'll be there and they'll actually use their attacks. And it's usually a make or break, especially during Clan War League. It could come down to 2 or 3 stars, and that's the difference. It gets even more competitive as you get further up into the tier ranks, and the more difficult the matchups become. And don't be afraid to give your donations out to your team once in a while. And once to further evaluate a member, you need to also consider the types of bases that they're running and the layout. So layout's also important, but that can also be figured out down the road if you really want to get super competitive. But the approach for our team is to kind of keep it relaxed, but at the same time relatively competitive, because we want to balance game life and real life, because people have lives too, and You can't go full 100% committed to the game. There are teams like that, and they have the resources to do it. But we're budget oriented, so we make do with what we have and do the best we can. So if you enjoyed learning a little bit from me, don't forget to subscribe, and good luck on your journey. Cheers.